You ready, Chris?
You ready, Ben?
Let's get it.
Man, let's get it, man. Welcome to the Follow Then Lead podcast. Yeah, man. Father, we thank you. We thank you for fellowship, laughter. Thank you for joy. Thank you for your peace. And just thank you for who you are in our lives, Lord God. We pray that you continue to have your hand placed upon us, in this brand, this business, Father. I pray over the hands of each individual that's here, Father God, and just continue to bless the work that we're doing, Father. We thank you. We thank you. Keep our minds, keep our soul, keep our hearts, Lord God, and cover those that are connected to us, friends, families, associates, Lord God. We cover them in your precious blood, and we just thank you for keeping us uplifted. In Jesus' name,
Amen. Amen.
Parenting communication. Communication.
Oh my God.
That was the wrong one.
Oh, there we go. That's better.
Right. That's how we need to label those.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely label.
Well, welcome to the Follow Then Lead podcast. We are here back again with your wonderful hosts, Chris Henson, Stacy Twangem, myself, Benjamin Baines, and then we got the two youngins,
Young bucks.
young bloods.
Yeah.
This is Stiles. They say Stiles make fights. And then we got Isaiah, Zay Boogie.
Say
Wow.
Boogie.
That was some dope nicknames.
Oh, I like that one.
I
They have some good
swear.
nicknames.
That's my Xbox gamer tag too.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
You see, but you chose it.
I made
so now
it.
you can't
When I was
remember.
like 10 though.
You see how your mind changes from 10 to 13?
God.
What would you change it to now? If it's not Zay Boogie, what would it be? Zay.
Zay,
the man.
yeah, that's all I could think of.
Because
Is
you gotta
Zay.
go.
Zay.
That's
When
just
you were
like,
young, you was always Boogie.
He used to be. What'd you get it? You go into them phases though, because I remember like what's the rapper name? Lil Flip or Lil Bow Wow, whatever.
And now
You
you
get a certain age, like nah, drop that
It's
lid
just
off.
Bow Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you know, got a little mustache on his
That's
lip and
true.
you know, a little stank on him. He good. He grown man now.
It definitely stinking though.
Okay. Hello.
Well, check in, man. How everybody doing? We can go around the table, Styles. How you
That's
doing,
right.
bro?
I'm doing good today.
You doing good? What does that mean? It's a good day.
Yeah,
You tired?
yeah.
Why
What was
tired?
you doing?
I had a AAU game today, and I had 2 last night.
So you had 3 games in 24 hours,
Kind
something like that.
of. Yeah.
That's tough. Did you get your wins?
First game we lost. It was a bad game. It got rough. We almost had a fight.
Mm.
Those be the best.
Second game, we went into second overtime. Won by 1 point.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
And today we got beat by like 30.
Dang.
Yeah.
How did you do?
I didn't really play yesterday. Today I played. We had terrible teamwork today, and then it was just like us arguing.
Mm.
Like we'd even call the plays, so it wasn't a good day. It wasn't a good weekend.
It starts from the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say who the coach.
Yeah.
Hello.
It starts from the top. No play calling.
No, because our main coach wasn't even there.
Oh.
We had a random dude,
Okay.
so it was
Yeah.
just like everybody was trying to show up.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Well, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
It is what it is. I'll get back.
Yeah.
I like that spirit. Absolutely.
Stacy.
Hey. How we doing?
I'm cool. I'm tired today. I've been with him since like 6-ish. Got to bring him to his game. Watched that, so I was on big sister duty. That's always fun though. I like watching the basketball games. It's precious. I like seeing the young people be young. It's always interesting because you can see their personalities like instantly on the
true.
court.
That's true.
There's always a hothead. There's always a showboat. There's always one trying his best. There's always one that's just like, oh, we could have just done better. It's really precious. So it's cool. And then we just had a bunch of errands and chores to do. So we're good. We're cooling today.
I love it.
Yeah, we're cooling. Zay, how are you?
I'm chilling. I'm tired.
Why are you tired?
I went to a party last night.
Oh, what are we celebrating?
It was my best friend's older sister's birthday party. I stayed there till like almost 12:40. Got home at like 1.
Got home at 1.
Yeah.
He had a late night.
How old are you again?
I'm 13.
13, man. Look, boy.
Hey, there ain't
You
no
look,
way.
I want that. Yeah, bitch. You look, I want that. Yo,
There
9
ain't
o'clock
no
is
way.
like the curfew. Yo.
13.
You got latest by 10.
Yeah. That was
on a
it.
special night.
Exactly.
I didn't even
yeah,
go
special
out
night.
at that age.
Yeah.
I was with my parents. They go out, I go out. They don't go out, I don't go out.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Well, I'm glad you had fun. I'm
Yeah.
glad you guys were safe. Okay.
Safe.
Faces. He's making faces.
He
so
sure
I don't
is.
know.
Y'all better. Yeah.
He's got
well,
stories to tell.
I know. Well, you're alive, so that's a good thing. We're
Right.
gonna say that's a win. We're gonna take that.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a good weekend. I got a lot done. Aaron's Celtics won on Friday.
Hey.
You know,
Yep.
and so we got to take it home today.
Absolutely.
But other than that, it's been a good weekend. Yeah, it's just been a lot. Got a lot done around the house, and it's kind of making some transitions in life too. It was like a new job.
Good stuff, man. Congratulations.
Okay,
Yeah,
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay.
It's a crazy state of thinking. You continue to work hard and like push yourself to kind of get to a certain place, and then you get to a certain place, and you're like, oh, well, I'm here. And then, well, I know there's work to do, but it's also like, man, can I do it? Am I capable? Those thoughts of worry and doubt. But I'm just constantly like kind of pushing myself over that. Like, don't overthink. Like, you're here. Just, it's time to get to work. So it's really going to do, a lot to kind of set us up, set myself up, to kind of be, where we want to be. And I'm just grateful.
Amen to that. It's dope being in that place because, bro, you belong there.
That's
You know what I mean? You belong there, fam. The overthinking, stuff that comes with the territory. But it's dope that you settle down and it's like, yeah, this is for me. Like, and on top of the hard work and the dedication that you put in, also it's this is your blessing. Goodness that you sown months ago, it's coming back around, the boomerang effect. You know what I mean? You do good, you sow good, you reap good. So, this is all you right there. Yeah. Me,
Well,
I'm doing good too. Look, it's dope. I like the check-ins because I get to see how everybody's doing. Yeah, folks are sleepy, but everybody's blessed. My man right here had a great game. Stacy enjoyed the great game. Zay had a fantastic. Did you win one? You won the game though, right? That's the great game then. You got to win up out of that.
And you pushed through, like you played all your games. That's important. Because a
Very
lot
important.
of young people get so frustrated, they're like, I'm just not going to play no more. And you actually played.
And there's no such thing as failing either. You fail forward.
I like that part.
It's always a fail forward. Just a learning experience. You're going to grow from it. So it's beautiful. Zay had a great party. Got in safe. Ben is thriving and everything that he does.
Fighting.
Yeah.
So we fighting.
Yeah, he is. But we're going to get this thing rocking and rolling, man. Topic for today. Parenting communication. It's always a great need for that because, throughout life, I've been through it. I'm sure Ben, Stacy, y'all been through it. It's that it can, we got dope parents. We got a great relationship with our parents, but it could be that broken communication. You know what I mean? It might be dope when you 7, 8, 9 years old, but as you get older, teenagers, you guys are growing up and being young men, parents might not know how to react or relate, to your day-to-day life. So we got you fellas here because y'all about to break that mold. Y'all about to give advice to not only the parents, but the teenagers as well. This is how you better communicate with your parent. So who want to take it first? Zay, I'm going to go in and holler at you because you up.
We said how to have better communication.
Yeah, man. So what's your communication levels like with your parent?
My dad is not so much with my mom. See, we live together, so I gotta talk to her every day.
Yeah.
But there's some moments where after school, I'll be like, "Hi." She'll be like, "Hey, how was school?" We'll be like, "Good," and I'll just bolt it upstairs to my room and lay on my bed.
Yeah.
Before I gotta do something, cause when I get home, it's like trash is full. I'm like, let me run upstairs and try to hide for a minute. So I'll sit up in my room.
Responsibilities.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'll sit up in my room for a minute. That she'll be like, I say, I'm coming to take the trash out. I know. I'll just take it out. So there's some days that I'll just take it out when I get home and then go sit down. Then, see, when I'm home, that means, oh my God, he's home. I don't gotta get up no more.
Mm-hmm.
with my grandma and my mom. My grandma, it's like, Isaiah, come down here. Can you come look for the battery under the remote under the couch? I'm like, yeah.
I remember
sure.
those days. Oh,
And she's sitting right there.
yeah.
Really?
I remember that.
She was like, Isaiah, can you make a bottle for your brother? I'm like, yeah, sure. But it'd be like, oh my God, Isaiah, you're home. Come home with your little brother real quick. While I go do something. I'm like, all right. I'll just sit down, do it, and try to go hide back in my room. See, I feel like the most time I get time to myself is at night. That's why I'm always up late, because I can actually do something. Like, if I want to sit down and watch TV or finish an episode, I'm like, let me wait till, like, when everybody goes to bed, and then I don't got to be called no more. Even then, my grandma's like, turn that down. I'm like, okay.
So how do you feel like communication is right now with, like, you and your mom?
My mom, yeah, we talk all the time. I don't tell her everything, but I tell her majority of stuff. Like, let's say one girl.
Like what?
I'm not going to name names, but one girl on the bus was telling this one girl, telling the old lady to get up. I want to sit where you're sitting right now. Move over. Everybody on that bus was like, that lady should smack you. Because it was an old lady. The old lady had her bag on her lap. She's like, no, move. And the girl could have just sat on the inside seat, but she wanted to sit on the outside, so she got attitude. She's bickering with this lady. Ladies try to ignore her, letting her sit in the inside seat. She don't want to sit there. She's telling the old lady, get up. I'll hit the old lady. So my one friend gets up out of her spot and says, go sit back there and shut up. And she was going to go sit back there, and she just sat next to the old lady because that girl was doing too much.
Yeah.
So you feel like you didn't want to tell your mom that, or you told your mom that?
I tell her majority of things, but I don't tell her stuff that'll, like that girl. I don't talk to that girl.
So what about like stuff between the two of you, like between you and your mom, not like other people's stuff? Like, how do you have communication when you're in trouble and you were supposed to be doing something and you didn't? You know, like how is there communication?
There's communication. When I'm in trouble, I'm in trouble. Like,
yeah.
How do I put this? If I go up to her and I'll be like, she'll be like, oh, go to your room. I'll be like, okay. I come down in a little while. I'll be like, Ma, I'm sorry. She'll be like, thank you. Now go back to your room. I'll be like, dang it, that didn't work. She be taking my phone. One time she left my Xbox in there. She came up, saw me on Xbox, and I was like, oh. I stared at her. She came in, unplugged everything, took my TV and my Xbox, and went downstairs. I'm like, dang it. Because I know if she takes my phone, that means don't try to come in the living room and go watch TV with your siblings now. Go back in your room, go read a book. Give me that computer too. I'm like, oh. Dang, I knew I should have just came home. Because I came home at 6 and I get out of school at 3. Yeah, I was hanging out.
And you have a phone?
Yeah, and I was hanging out and I didn't ask her. I was hanging out like around the green line. And I came home at like 6. I like left around like 5. No, I had left hanging out with them around like 4:45. I thought I would make it home in time. I didn't, because those bus problems, train problems. When I got there, train said a 7-minute wait.
MBTA.
Bus said 18-minute wait, then also driving to my house. So I was like, dang, it's 6:05. I'm bolting it up it was like probably 5:50 something. I tried to bolt it up the street. By the time I walked to the door, she was like, it's 6:01. Give me that phone. I was like, dang it, miss.
So what areas?
Yeah, so overall, so you got a good, communication flow with your moms, but it sounds like you can talk to her about the easy things. What about the hard stuff?
Certain hard stuff I can talk to her about. Like, say if I did something stupid, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna tell her. She's not gonna find out, because I did something stupid at school, and I thought I'd get in trouble. So I came home and I left my phone and my computer on the dryer. She's like, why's your phone and computer on the dryer? I said, oh, I just what do you mean? She's like, yeah, why is it on the dryer? I said, oh, I just put it there. She's like, oh, okay, well, don't leave it on the dryer for your siblings to take it. I'm like, wait, she didn't find out. Let's go in and call her. I'm like, okay, we go hide in my room. I hid in my room, and next day she didn't get a call too. I'm like, dang, she didn't find out about this one. That's weird. Because if I get in trouble at school, mom's usually called. Like, my phone, my mom has this app where it's a timer. So she shuts off my phone until 3. That's when I get out of school. So I can't be on my...
Can you repeat that? She has a what?
My mom has a timer on my phone. So when my school starts at 7:56, so my phone will shut off like 8:30.
Like the whole phone shuts off, or your apps shut
Like
off?
Apps,
locked.
every app shuts
And this
off.
on
Good.
the iPhone?
Yes.
That's good.
Can you share? You're gonna have to share with me what that is.
That's why you need to get an iPhone.
Ben, we're not gonna
I
have
do
this
like that idea, though.
conversation.
I like
Stacy
that
over here
idea.
got no
Stacy.
iPhone.
I like that idea. So Styles, let me bring in Styles real quick,
Mr. Styles.
bro. All right. So communication. How do you vibe pretty well with your pops, moms, with family when it comes to communication? Like, do you feel like you can go to them about any and everything, and then also, do you feel like they relate to you?
Best person I can really communicate with is my brother. I don't know, like maybe kind of my dad, but definitely not my mom.
Well, what? All right, so let me do this, and I mean, and that be true sometimes though, cause I'm like my best buddy was my little sister. Like she can vibe with me, like she get it. Some stuff I just couldn't take the mom, cause it was mama.
Yeah.
But how can your parents? Let me see. How do I want to word this, man? So as far as like you going to them and feeling comfortable with communicating, how do
Styles, you could go take a nap.
No.
Sorry, man.
He's so tired.
You good, bro?
Go ahead, go take a nap.
It's okay, kid.
You
Man,
good, bro?
Just
You
standing
good?
there.
You have-
He's about to fall asleep. He's not gonna be able to make it through the.
He's
Basketball
just
took him.
overly tired.
Yo, those 3 games took it.
Yeah, I bet. When
He's
you
about to get
drained,
knocked out on that couch.
when
Oh,
you're
no.
drained, there's nothing you can do.
Oh.
You can fight as much as you want. Your body's shutting down.
Yeah,
It's
when your body talks,
literally-
it talks, man.
Yeah.
You gotta listen
It
to
just
it.
talks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cause I used to play basketball for
Like
this team
mid
at my
convo.
school.
Not.
My boy was out of it. It's dope. It be that way sometimes though.
But I remember, so to kind of like to talk about what you're saying about like just having communication with your parents. Some things you could talk about, some things you could. I know for me, when I was young, it felt like my mom was always like, she handled things with extremes. Like she was either really extremely mad or extremely sad.
Yeah.
So to me, it was like I never felt like I wanted to talk to you about anything because it was like you're gonna be extreme. I didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
And then think that was like I got in my early 20s and I'm dating, and then I used to talk to my mom about stuff like, and then dating situation. I didn't tell her about everything, obviously details, right?
Right.
But
Right.
it was a one time where I was dating, she was mad at me about something, and we just had a little moment. That's life, right? So my mom asked, so we were going to like my nana's birthday party, so I was bringing her to meet the family and all that, and she was upset, and so I asked my mom asked me, oh, is she coming? Da, da, da. I was like, yeah. I was like, she's mad at me right now though. She was like, oh, what happened? And I told her, because I think she was planning on moving to New York, and then I was like upset about that. At the time when I was younger, to me that's like you leaving me,
Yeah.
I wasn't mature, but that's how I was feeling. But I didn't know how to communicate then, so I just would get mad, and then so she's mad because I'm mad, and So anyway, we're at the party at my family's house. I'm sitting down with her. I get up to go hang out with like my uncle and with the guys, and I come back maybe like 30 minutes later, and she's mad. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you? So, oh, go ask your mother. I asked my mother about what? Like, I'm asking you. Like, just tell me. Oh, you told your mother that what the problem? I was like, why would she do that? Like, why would you go up?
Yeah.
So I go to my uncle immediately, like, yo, I'm mad. He's like, man, you gotta stop telling your mother everything. Right?
That's real.
Your mother don't
real.
need to know everything.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And I think that was like one of the bigger lessons. I learned that I can have a healthy communication about like relationships and dating, but not details,
That's dope.
Some details aren't as necessary for the quality of, and I've learned now at this point, they talk about it like to protect your relationships in general, you keep that between the two of you. It don't matter, friends, family, whoever it is.
That's true too. Yeah.
They don't need to know the details of whatever problems is going on. That's your protection. That's your
big
job
facts.
to keep that, at home, keep it protected.
Yeah.
Y'all work through it.
So the dating phase, how around what age were you when all this took place?
I was at that time I was probably like 20.
Okay, yeah.
22
That's
maybe.
dope. That's something that I've noticed, and I'm just trying to break that barrier. But I went through that too. You know, I mean, me and my mom, we had a great relationship, but same thing. I really, whatever, from the ages, I don't know, 13 all the way up until maybe 16, 17. I ain't talk to her about everything. I didn't think that she could relate. Like you said, you named off, extreme one moment, extreme the next, or whatever. But I feel like the older I got, we were good. Like I could sit on the front porch, she, have a coffee and drink a coffee and smoke a cigarette, and we just vibe on the front porch. It's like the communication gelled. It's like almost like, I guess it's like two grown folks chopping it up. So maybe that's, you reach a certain age, and then it's like, okay, you can have better communication with your parents. But there's also that age where, I don't know, 8 years old up until maybe 16, like how can kids better relate to the parents, and parents can better relate to kids around that particular age? I mean, I would say, the Cosby effect, put the, turn the cell phones off, like let's actually sit down, no TV, just really vibe and talk. Yeah, man, like what's really on your plate? Like, Zay, what's really going on at school? I'm not I ain't gonna judge you, I ain't gonna bash you, but I'm like, talk to me. Like, really, what's up? I feel like in that case, parents should take the initiative. Like, really, really search out. Kids ain't gonna go to their parents. It's just not gonna happen, because we all got that same story. It's like I couldn't go to my mom about everything. You, what about
you? Thinking about the background I came from, I think when I was younger, I felt more comfortable doing that. But also knowing my mom extremes as well, there were things where, looking back now, I'm like, that was probably a very high reaction to what I was trying to tell you. So I think because of those reactions, I stopped communicating certain things because I was just too scared. I didn't want to get yelled at or have an angry reaction automatically. It's kind of like, I'm telling you because I am scared. I'm not trying to be more scared. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so there are things I just stopped talking about, stopped sharing. But as I got older as well, I had to learn how I like to be communicated with. And so I had to teach her how to talk to me, which was really awkward because I'm an adult now, and she's like, why are you acting like that? And I'm like, I'm not acting like anything. I really just don't like when you talk to me like that. And like, I want to talk to you the way you want to be spoken to as well. So we got to figure something out. So it's actually, in a weird way, it's like parenting your parent. Yeah. Because you got to teach them that, hey, I'm an adult, that you wanted me to be like this. So we got to figure this out now, right? Like, what are we going to do?
That's fantastic.
But it's hard. It took a lot of prayer though, because I have my mother's blood, and that's hot. And that hot blood, when it's annoyed, gets hotter. So I had to learn how to calm myself down to be able to talk to her when she's angry. Did it always work? No. Sometimes it was just two hotheads, right? My dad is very opposite. He's calm, cool, collected. Like, I could be angry as
it's always,
and my dad's gonna be cool. But if my dad gets angry, I can't say nothing. Yeah. Like, I'm quiet. I'm like,
let's set it off.
Let me just step back. My mom's different. So, there were certain, like you said, some details just don't need to be shared. I think I'm at a place where I have the right to reserve that for myself, right?
Absolutely.
At my age, my mother was married with a kid, so it's like I'm at a place where I don't want to share. I don't. When I'm ready, I will. And we're just gonna have to figure it out along the way, right? So
I love it. Yeah. That's powerful right there. The part about you had to parent your parent, and it goes back to what you used to say in season 1. Give your parents grace, because they didn't know certain things. They had to learn along the way as they went. Some of my parents didn't check out therapy. Some of them didn't. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to communicate to adults. So they darn sure don't know how to communicate to a kid. So we come along and have to teach them. That's just how it flows, and that just speaks to your truth and your powers. Like, you parent your parent. Like, you was her therapist. You taught her how to communicate. Big props to you. Be that way sometimes.
I'm gonna give all that grace to God though. Like, I'm gonna give it all to God, because I didn't want to. It was really uncomfortable, because I'm also growing up and dealing with all my feelings, and now I have to figure out how to deal with yours because you didn't figure out how to deal with yours. And it's nothing against you because you weren't taught. So I can't even be mad. When I was mad, it was just like, this is dumb. Why are we here? And then I realized, oh, right, you're a child of God too. Like, you went through all of your own things, and there were probably people along the way who didn't teach you. And so now the Lord is allowing me to see it, so that I guess I have to speak up on it. Otherwise, I'm doing both of us a disservice.
I love that.
So,
That's dope. That's dope. Zay, if it's something that you could teach your mom as far as communication, what would it be?
How to understand where I'm coming from, cause like when she's angry, it's a difference. Cause when she's calm, it's like, oh, I'm telling her, oh, I don't feel like going to do something, or I don't want to. All right, and she starts talking with it. But when she's angry beforehand, like my siblings do something stupid and she's having a bad day, that means everybody gotta face her about that day. Because my little brother will do something, or my sister will do something, it'll be being mad annoying, and I'll walk down there and I'll say something to her, and I'll say it the wrong way, and she'll be like, "Who are you talking to? What, you think you big now because you're taller than me?
Right.
I'll still throw you off that porch." I'm gonna be surprised if she did. Yeah, but
that's powerful. I like that, because parents do get that way. They treat kids like they're not even human. You're just a kid. You know, like you say, you saying like, feel where I'm coming from. Like, I got feelings too. Parents don't. Some parents don't treat their kids that way. You ain't got feelings. You're a kid. You my kid. Like,
you'll be fine.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine. But that's backwards. Like, y'all. Shout out to Tweety, man.
You know what's taught me a lot about that? Having my dog.
Why did you
hold on about his
that?
feelings?
No. More so about, like, in general, what we're talking about. Like, basically what I'm saying is that a lot of things that parents were taught or not able to deal with were them being a child and how they were dealt with. So then when you grow up, you don't have to deal with it. So then when you have children, you're automatically going to do the same thing.
It's carrying it over.
Yeah, it's right. And so now when you have children that are maybe in our generation more kind of aware about how they want to be treated, how they don't communicate it, that's sought as, right, rebellious or disrespectful different ways. And so for me, I've realized, you know, it's also benefited me to having youth, you know, my nieces, nephews for years. But then when I got my own dog, it was like, dogs and children are not the same.
Oh, say that again. You said they're not.
Okay.
They're not. Yeah, it's a disclaimer. They're not the same.
They are the same.
But they're similar. And as far as emotions,
don't get me started.
As far as emotions and how they're similar to people, and so how we relate. So if a dog is not doing what you told it to do, your reaction can be whatever it was for you when you were growing up. It's the same with children. Like, if, you know, when I come in the house and he tore up my sneakers or, you know, tore up a plant, my immediate response is whatever subconsciously, that's how I was treated. So for me, it was aggression. So immediately I'm aggressive. So at first it was good for him, you know, to establish like the rules for him when he was a puppy, really little. But then after the 6 months, it was like I didn't need to be on him. He understood. So now it's about managing that with him, managing myself. Really, that's what it really was about. I realized that when he was acting up, either I wasn't spending enough time with him, or he didn't get food, or he didn't go outside to run. Like, usually it's a reflection of me.
Yeah.
And that's when I started to realize, like, oh, okay, his issues are a reflection of me, not him, because he's only learned from me, right? And so I think a lot of that too is, you know, with, you know, I haven't been a parent, but I believe that parenting is about managing that self and like what you have and haven't done in your communication with children, and like allowing them to, like Stacy or I think Chris mentioned, they're their own person, and they're smart enough to understand that they're their own person and that they like and don't like some things. And there's times with him where, you know, I've picked him up from school and he wanted to stay. It's cool. I'm gonna stand there and listen to you, and you express yourself, why you feel like you want to stay, why you're upset. Cool, I understand it, but we still gotta leave. But still allow you to express yourself let's have a conversation and let you know why we have to leave right now.
That's good. That's
You know what
respect.
I mean? And I think that that's a level of, as far as communication with parents and children, like that, like a dialogue, you know, not about every situation. Sometimes it's just clean the dishes. There ain't no, you know, there's no
Sometimes
conversation
What
about
is.
it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But there's certain times where this should be a balance with allowing them to be their own person, communicate their frustrations, issues, fears, and then for us not to always, you know what I mean, be overbearing or dominating.
Yeah, man.
Aggressive. Yeah.
I'm gonna touch on that in a sec, but and what you were saying about the what y'all think about our culture as Black people? That's like our first reaction is to be aggressive. Cause I mean, I had to pour that. Well, yeah, I was going. Yeah, I mean,
It's
cause I
slavery,
was
right?
I was the same way. I had to work some of that out of me too. You know, I'm like, nah, boy, go sit down. Like just real aggressive. You know what I mean? You know, pull out
you
the
need
whip.
to go sit down.
Yeah, but like you said, well, yeah, and sometimes they really don't.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they do deserve, like you said, you know, that explanation. Like, I could take time out to talk to you, let you know why you need to go sit down. But with me, what I'm saying is, it's the way I said it. Like, nah, go sit down. Like, that's aggressive and rude at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
you wouldn't want nobody to talk to you like that.
Nah, it would have been on. I was like, wait, what?
I'm sorry, you're talking to who?
But yeah,
Just pop up.
as a society, as a culture, Black culture, that be our number one go-to. You know, like I said, you said it. You know, it's in our subconscious. We get aggressive.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Can I ask, Stacy? You've come from a
African background.
what is that like? The aggression. I mean, because there's definitely like that.
That's such a large topic.
Is it comparable? That's the question.
I think it is.
Okay.
I'm not speaking for anybody else. I'm speaking from my perspective. So disclaimer on that part. But I think it is. I think we are all raised in a very it's like we love you by being really hard with you.
Strict. Yep.
That's how we love you. We don't ask you your opinion. We tell you what to do because you were parents, and because we're your parents, we know better than you.
Shit.
So that means we can't be wrong, right? So for a long time, I saw my parents as perfect because in my head they couldn't do wrong. Hence being so scared, right? And then when I realized my parents weren't perfect, I felt betrayed, right? Because I'm like, what do you mean you don't have it all together? I thought that's what it was supposed to do. But that's how we were raised. Does that make sense? Like, if your parents don't like apologize to you, you don't know that they make mistakes. I think it's imperative for parents to apologize because they're human. So yes, so I mean, I think across the board, like other African young people that I know, if we share stories of when we made mistakes, the reaction is pretty much the same from all of our moms. The dads are mostly quiet. They get angry for like the bigger stuff. The moms get angry for all the stuff.
Definitely.
And it's like, and it's exhausting.
Left the sock in the middle of the floor, be
Man,
going off.
Or you kick
Everything.
something, or you kick something without noticing. You ain't feel like you kicked that? Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Pick it up.
I don't
Yeah,
know about you,
everything.
Jose. You probably did kick it on purpose.
I ain't
He
kick
do.
it.
He
No,
do be kicking up.
I'll
You like that's Cheyenne's?
And sometimes, not all the time. Like today, I kicked something walking past the hallway on my phone, not paying attention. I didn't know I kicked it. Wasn't paying attention. It was a sock.
I know mom got mad.
My
You
mom
gotta start
turned around
paying
like,
attention.
you ain't feel yourself kicking that? I said
Yeah.
no, because I didn't feel myself kicking it. I wasn't paying attention. I was on the phone.
He was off in the multiverse.
I was on my
That's
phone.
she's probably more upset that you're not paying attention than the fact that you kicked it.
Exactly.
And
That's
so-
probably
so-
what it
is.
So I was
And-
I was heading upstairs to my room. So I was on the phone with somebody, and everybody in my house is nosy. And I left my AirPods upstairs, so I was heading upstairs.
Oh, well, I
See,
mean,
either way, you gotta
Well,
pay
no,
attention.
But I want to drop something real quick. But let that be a lesson, though. Like, that's a heavy lesson because you do it so often, and this time it happens to be a mistake. You'll label that like you're a kicker. So right off the
what
bat,
you
mom is
did.
like, you did that on purpose. But that's another topic for another day. But yeah.
can I add real quick something that popped in when we were talking to is the importance for oh come on, it was right there. The importance of parents acknowledging their kids. At the end of the day, God gave you children. So you are to steward over these children that the Lord has given you because they are God's children. pay attention to God's children. Pay attention to the kids that you have. I am not a parent, but I have seen many parents parent. I've seen my own. I've seen my friends who have kids that are in their teens and all that. And so I've watched them react to their kids. Yeah, of course, there's going to be the stern voice when it's needed. There's going to be the stop playing around because I've already told you 17 times.
But it ain't like that all the time.
Right. It's exactly. A lot of times it's a conversation. A lot of times it's okay, so why do you think that? And then it's like, okay, do you understand why it's wrong now? Yes, when it's needed, there'll be whatever there needs to be, because sometimes that is needed. Discipline is needed. But something I've appreciated by watching my friends parent is how they acknowledge their kids. That makes their kids want to talk to them more.
They're more like teachers than...
Yeah. So the kids know to be scared, because once mom gives you that one look, it's a wrap.
It's on and popping.
But they also know, like, hey, mom, can I talk to you about something real quick?
That's dope.
And it might be uncomfortable, but they know they can, because that door has already been opened where I acknowledge you without you even having to say anything.
I like that.
So now you can come in and just talk to me.
I like that. See,
But it's different. Sorry, it's different in the background when you were raised scared.
Yeah.
Because as much as they say, you can talk to me about anything, you're like, no, I can't, because look how you keep reacting every time I do.
That's facts. That's facts. And see, I don't want to be that parent. No. I would always say that I've been on that whole bandwagon as far as, listen, you're going to get the switch right off the bat. But it's like, nah. And everyone's like, nah, Chris, like, you need to talk to them. Like, communicate. Like, break it down to them. Like, first talk to them. If they don't get it, then it's like, all right, then you can bring out the belt, whoop them then. So let me ask you guys this, as far as what does, let me see, I want to word it just right, man. What does good stewardship as far as being a parent looks like? Because it's not, okay, you say the wrong thing to me, you getting smacked in the mouth. That's not it. So what is good? A lot of parents think that, though. They think that's good stewardship, like being strict, being, strongly discipline the child real strongly, but that's not it. What does good stewardship, as far as being a parent, what does that look like?
I wish we had a parent in here.
Oh no, you know what? Let me say you, and know what? I don't even know.
Answer.
I'm about to say, because regardless, you got nieces and nephews, you got a dog, you got homies, they got kids. You've seen it. Same
everybody's
thing.
Uncle.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Same thing with you, Stacy. You've seen it in action. And same thing with me. I got like 50 god kids, and I'm like, same thing like you being. I'm like uncle to everybody. I'm big brother to everybody. So we've seen examples, and I feel like we are. I mean, yeah, we ain't got no kids, but I feel like we are equipped to, speak to this on today. So for the parents out there, what does good stewardship looks like as far as being a parent?
I would probably say the one thing that comes to my mind is what we've kind of talked about recently about like boundaries in relationships, and like creating healthy boundaries even with children, and like as while the children are within the boundaries that you kind of set of rules of the house or whatever, how they should treat you, talk to you, whatever they are, allow them to still be children.
Right.
Within those boundaries, just let them be kids.
Yeah.
If they need to do the dishes, that's their one chore. They did the chores.
Let them be kids.
Good.
Let them be kids, and then I think that might kind of lend to what Stacy's saying, that they'll want to talk to you and be okay. They know their rules. They know their boundaries. They know, you have to remind them they're children. They're going to test it.
True.
Right?
That's true.
Like and then you just keep reinforcing it. Like, no, this is a boundary. And with you getting close to it comes correction, and it might be a smack sometimes, but just as a reminder. But I think, healthy boundaries and allowing children to be children is probably one thing.
That and acknowledgement. I just think it's so important to acknowledge children in their feelings, because I know what it's like to not, especially when you see a kid going through something, but you're not saying anything about it, and they're trying to figure it out on their own, and that's never fun. You mentioned this earlier, Chris, about being able to see them. I think you mentioned about being able to see them and saying, hey, like, what's up? Like, what's going on? Let's talk. Yeah, I'm like losing my thought right now, but that's the acknowledgement part is really big, because that's really all kids need. Like, they don't always need like a huge party or like to go out for ice cream all the time. Sometimes they just need a what's up.
Yep.
Like a check-in. My little brother does that to me all the time. He will call me like, yo, what's up? I'm like, you checking on me?
It feels good too.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, thank you so much.
Yep.
So the acknowledgement is huge because
Yes.
kids also have a lot of feelings.
Absolutely.
I think with that really quick, like, and with good stewardship is the acknowledgement, but in like helping them manage
Exactly.
themselves too.
Yep.
And like,
Agreed.
yeah, like, because
like
they're
that.
trying to figure out their emotions and
I
how
like
to
that.
interact, how to deal with stuff. They're learning from you. So a lot of time they might react
They really
like
are.
you, right?
Yep, they really are.
Okay.
That's the facts.
Yeah. So,
Never
You get
reflection.
mad.
but like last week,
That's your
you
mini
know,
me.
Mm-hmm.
last week Isaiah and Cheyenne were going at it. She's in his room acting crazy.
Man, I miss her.
Yeah,
How old
sorry.
is she?
7, right?
Oh,
Six.
I ain't seen her in like 2 years.
6. You,
Whatever.
She's precious, man.
It's
Stacy,
not.
you'll love
She's
her.
Yeah,
six.
she's awesome.
she's 6.
6. Okay, so she going in his room acting crazy, and he's like, "Yo, I keep telling you to stop jumping on my bed. Time to get out the room." Now she's screaming bloody murder. So he forces her out, and then now I'm standing there, and so
Watching
she's
this happen.
she's screaming, hollering. I was like, "Well, you gotta get out of his room. It's his room, right?" No, da, da, da. She's screaming. Nope. So then I grab her arm because she's like trying to throw a tantrum. So I grab her arm and like I'm firmly holding her. You're not going anywhere. Calm down.
Mm-hmm.
And she's no screaming, hollering. Mommy, no. It's literally like almost 5 minutes of me just sitting there, holding her arm
Yeah.
until she realized that she wasn't going anywhere and she should calm down. Calm down. What's your problem?
Mm.
Isaiah don't want to let me in the room. Now she's still crying. I can't hear you.
Mm-hmm.
You crying. I don't understand anything
Yeah,
you're
we
saying.
don't understand none of that.
If you keep doing that, I can't hear you. So
Yep.
we're gonna
That's
we gonna
good.
stay here.
That's good.
So then
You don't be real tears anyway.
Man,
it's a tantrum,
Crocodile
Yeah.
tears.
right?
Just
It's just a
tantrum.
tantrum, and they it's learned behavior. They do it, and then it works. So they keep doing it.
Yep.
Right? So it don't work with me. So you got to stop. You got to communicate. You're getting to an age where you can. So let's do it.
Mhm.
So she eventually gets there, and the problem is that she feels like she wants to spend time with Isaiah.
there you go.
Okay, good.
That's
So
dope.
do you want to spend time with him? Yeah, he never. Oh, she starts crying again. He never.
Oh,
No.
she's so
It's
frustrated.
okay. It's okay. He doesn't spend time with you much. I was like, well, you can't go in his room causing havoc. He don't want to spend
Mhm.
time with you if you do
Right.
that. Okay. So do you want to ask him if you want to spend time? She's like, yeah. And then she's like, yeah, but he won't. I'm like, you have to understand you can't control him.
That's it.
He's his own person too.
Yeah, that's good.
And she's like, and she's trying. So eventually we get to the point where she walks to the door, knocks on it, asks if she can play with him. And then he answers the door. He answers the door and he's like, no. I looked at him like, bro,
You're not helping.
I need you to help me right
Yeah.
now. Right?
We're trying to have a teachable moment.
He saw it. He was like, okay. He's like, well, I'm going to clean my room and we'll watch a movie.
Nice.
And she looks at me now to like understand how she should deal with that situation. It's like, okay, well, you can't control him. Is that okay with you? And she's like, yeah. I was like, so you gonna let him clean the room and then you come back later? She's like, yeah. And so she asked how long, blah, blah, blah. He says 20 minutes. She's good. But like that, in a nutshell, is what I'm saying. Like helping
That's
them
dope.
kind of manage, even
Yeah.
their interpersonal relationships, like trying to help
I love it.
manage it.
Work that thing out.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to fight and all that, but
Yeah.
you can't manage everything. But there's certain moments. It's like, okay,
Yes, dude. I love it.
that's what I'm thinking.
I love it. I love it. I feel like parents shouldn't shut their kids down. Like when they're trying to express the whole, shut up and go to the corner, shut up and go to your room or whatever. I feel like you do that enough that affect them later on in life. Low self-esteem or timid, that type of thing. They don't have a voice to speak up for themselves anymore. By the time they get 18, it's like they don't have a voice.
18, way before that.
Well, yeah, way before that. Going back to the, dogs are like kids. They kind of sort of.
Gentlemen.
But
Let's get a T-shirt. Dogs are like kids.
Ooh,
anyway,
no.
oh yeah,
I
you
will
got to
burn
do
them.
that.
Follow them, lead.
That's gonna be hilarious, man.
Ooh, this is why y'all have
That's
me
gonna be
here. huh?
hilarious, man.
This is why y'all have me here for these moments. This is
Yeah.
why y'all have me here.
It's like, but in some cases they kind of similar a little bit.
We're gonna bypass these comments.
But it's I read this article and it was about, if a owner of a dog would, hush their tell that dog to stop barking so much, make them hush, eventually they'll stop barking. Like, but you know, something could be jumping up, like some kind of danger or whatever. But you know, they just, you know, it's a burglar in the house. But it's like, well, my owner's going to whoop me if I bark. So I would just sit there not doing it. But it's the same thing. It's the same effect as a kid. You tell your kid to, you know, shut up, or, you know, you suppressing their feelings and their emotions and the way they want to, you know, express themselves. You do that so much, they lose their voice. Same thing as a dog. You know, Lucy, that's my pup. I like when she barks. The wife, on the other hand, she hates it. You know, she gets on them like, nah, like, don't do that. Let her bark. You know, we'll go see if something's jumping off and ain't nothing happening. Then, you know, we tell her to be quiet. But sometimes it'd be the neighbors, it'd be another dog outside, or whatever the case may be. It's like, let her be a dog. Like, let her bark. Because what I don't want is someone's in here and she needs to bark and sound the alarm, but because she's conditioned to be quiet, nothing's going to happen. So that's
like Pepper.
Yeah,
almost.
Pep.
Yeah, Pepper's quiet.
No, she's actually not.
now.
Oh yeah.
She's actually not.
Okay.
When we go out, she cuts up.
Oh, outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the house, she's chill. When we go
Okay,
outside
okay.
and she sees someone she doesn't know and someone comes up to her like, hey, nah, she goes off.
Oh yeah.
How was
Yeah,
Pepper?
back up.
I haven't
She
seen her
good.
in a while.
Yeah.
Since I dropped her off. I remember when I dropped her off, Cheyenne was like, I miss Pepper. I'm like,
Man, yeah.
you got some in the cabinet, but still.
That's terrible.
That's funny. What
She
that's dope.
used to get so mad about that. Like, I want Pepper back. I want Pepper
Yeah.
back. It was mostly because she didn't want to go to bed without her.
Oh,
Pepper
yeah.
Pepper hated sleeping on her bed because she ain't be moving. And she come in my room. Pepper would come in my room and I'd be like, your bed's over there in the corner. Just go lay down.
Yeah,
So I think her bed was in the corner of my room.
that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when Kobe came over and he pooped inside my sandals?
Oh, that's crazy. He was a puppy. He had to be a dog. He had to
he
be
was
a puppy. I was about to
because he used
say.
to leave him at our house.
I was like, if he was grown and he did that, that's a
well,
mess.
They used to watch him when for
Oh,
like
man,
puppies,
bro.
Kobe's first 3 months. Like when I was at work, he'd be over there with my sister and the kids.
That's dope.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't go. I kept asking him to come on my room. He wouldn't go in my room. I was sitting on my bed. I'm like, why wouldn't he go in my room?
Then he started getting
Smell.
bigger and then taking over Pepper's bed.
Oh yeah.
And Pepper didn't want to go in her crate no more because
Yeah.
Kobe was like, yo, this is mine.
That's a little
Kobe used to always try to fight her too.
No, he didn't. He
Yeah,
wanted
play.
to play. She
She
don't.
hated
She
it.
don't
Yeah,
like
Ivana's
him.
dog.
Too big.
Ivana's dog. The same thing. She's big, and she's not trying to fight Pep. It's just that she wants to play, and they're just big. They're big
So it
pups.
looks like it's fighting, but it's just
they're
playing.
just
Yeah,
rough
they're
house and just
playing,
want to play. Yeah,
Pepper used to hate it.
Yeah, Pepper she still does probably.
yeah. She can't stand Ivana's dog. Yeah,
I
it's
was-
just big. Too big of a dog. So like, I ain't fooling with that. Yeah, man.
Dogs.
Yeah.
I
But
will
no.
say I really appreciate
I'm a
that
cat
moment
person.
that Ben mentioned with his niece, because she may actually remember that for the rest of her life.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think, you know, I'll speak as a woman, you know, with a lot of emotions growing up, that management is really hard. And you do need that type of support. You need someone to be like, hey, fine, have your little moment, but we're not going to do anything yet. Just have your moment. When you're ready, let's talk about it. Let's really dig deep as to why. It's the why that you got her to. And now, hopefully, there'll be more moments where she'll think, why do I feel like throwing a tantrum right now?
Consistency does matter.
It does. You're not
Yeah, it
wrong.
does.
You're not wrong. It does. But again, those moments will cause her, hopefully, to question why, right? So now she's having more of an internal dialogue where it's like, I actually just want to hang out with my brother. This is why I'm so frustrated. And so that frustration just comes out as her jumping on your bed or whatever have you. 'Cause she's like, oh my gosh, if I like do enough, maybe he'll pay attention to me. But that irks you more, right?
And-
than anything.
And I talked to him later, right? And I was like, you want to have girlfriends, don't you?
That is
He was like, yeah. I'm like, your little sister is preparing you for your management, you know, of
It really is.
women and their emotions. And they're not always going to tell you directly. They might just
Man, listen.
haul off and get an attitude for something.
And it doesn't change either, bro. Look,
It don't
oh,
change.
that's a
I
whole
had
other
situation
conversation.
like that.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's hard.
it's okay, but it just, the thing about it for us is to learn. The thing about it for me, I didn't have someone to teach me that, how to manage it. You know, I connected it to my mom's extreme. So anytime I got with someone that had like emotions or you didn't communicate, I'm good. Because to me, I didn't learn how to manage it, and I didn't have anyone there that was like teaching me to manage that. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like I've learned it, you know, through the course of experiences, messing up, and you know, then learning to have communications with men, women, and like understand. And then I have my nieces and my goddaughters. Like, it's like all come together that, as my job as a man to manage, I'm managing her as well, and like kind of her emotions and how to help her through being patient. It's not about me, you know. In certain moments, it's like you got to manage yourself.
I was about to say, I think it's less the management of her emotions as much as it is the mentorship of how to deal with her emotions. I think it's
that's
more
management.
Yeah.
Like that's like a good steward. Like
a good steward. Yeah, because I'm thinking like I think there were times where my dad did do that for me. Like he would not react if I got hot. He looked at me like, "Let me know when you're done."
That was dope. I like that.
Didn't react, and I was confused because I don't. At least right now, I don't remember if he gave me words as much as he just really looked at me like, "So when you're done, I'll let you know what's up, and then we can keep going." Or sometimes if my tone was a little too harsh, he would repeat the exact same tone back at me, and I look at him like, "Yo, why you talk to me like that?" He goes, "That's exactly what you just did." And I'm like, "That's awkward."
I love
and
that.
I
It's
learned
hard to
real
see
quick.
that
I was
mirror
like,
too.
You know, they do that with babies though. They doing that, you know, unnecessary yelling and crying, and parents are to yell back, and then the baby just stops like
Looking at them
it's
crazy.
like that's how you sound. But I'm gonna play angel's advocate real quick in these last
I like
these last few minutes actually. These last few minutes. Why does the man gotta be the manager? Why we can't just be?
We built for it.
Why?
Because that's what God said. It's in our DNA. It's encoded.
What God said?
We was put first.
He said, "What God say?"
What God said? Nah, I'm just messing with him.
We were put here first, and I think it is it's our duty. It's part of like we're built to handle that.
Yeah.
And I talk about it like this, like, you know, when it comes to like most of my statements are generalized, but generally men are built to handle things externally, right? And we're more reasoning, we're more, you know, physical. So like if I have to run through a wall, sometimes I might be able to. Lift up a car, I might be able to. On the flip side, she might not be able to, but she's built to handle things more internally, you know, internal pain, right?
Yeah.
Physical, birthing children.
Yeah.
If it came to us, we'd probably die in the middle of it. Right?
in the middle at the start.
That's why they make fun of.
Look, 6 months in, we'll be done.
Cut it out. Cut it out, like literally. But like that's why that, you know, the whole old adage that men are such babies when we get sick. Like we're not built to deal with internal problems. Like, it's all external. And so when it comes to like managing emotions, I think we have a little bit more reasoning because we don't have as many varying of emotions as women do, right? So we're able to like, all right, we should be able to help process or be patient, you know, and understanding them. Like that's our job. It's like when a father takes care of his children, he raises them up and then releases them to the world. And then image wise, you see that on the marriage day when the father passes the daughter off to the man, as in, this is now your responsibility, right? It's no longer mine. If she come back to me, we got a problem, right? Right? Between men, right? Like, cause you not handling what you're supposed to handle. And so I think that's
good.
We just built for that. And then it goes to the word and talks about, you know, as Christ is to the church.
We are, we're definitely built for that. God designed us to be developers and cultivators. You feel me? That's when you said, when you spoke about managing, that's the first thing that came to mind. It's like, we're cultivators. We're designed to develop. And that's what you did with her. You developed a better self of Cheyenne. It's like, come down with the, you know, the temper tantrums.
Got you.
Calm down with that. And then, you know, you developed her, cultivated her, you took her, molded her, developed her into something else, something better. You know, understanding like, this is what they want. This is why you're feeling like this. And it's not even real feelings. You just, you know, at the moment you trip, you want something, but you're tripping. You're explaining that to her, and then in the process of you doing that, you end up, you develop there. And so as men, yeah, we have that gift to cultivate, you know, that assignment to cultivate. So as far as like being a manager, yeah, that's definitely us out there. God built us for that.
And the importance of learning about yourself as a man and your feelings too, because if you don't know your feelings, you cannot properly help somebody else
That's
with
true
theirs.
too.
100%.
So that's like so important. So like,
that's true.
I know
Self-work.
we live in an environment where now men are talking more about feelings, which is so good. But before they weren't doing that, and so they were much colder.
And passing away early too.
Oof, man, it's not
Heart
good for the heart.
attacks.
It's not good for the heart. But as you better understand your feelings and what you're processing, when you see your counterpart react a certain way, you won't react the way you would have chosen to react, because now you know, oh, she's having a complex emotion right now. I mean, I'm able to relate, but I can like connect somewhere. And just that connection is a huge deal, because
really
now she'll look at you like, oh, you're trying. And if she's aware of that, because not all women are aware of that, then she'll be more willing to explain, like, and it might be hard, but she'll be willing to explain, like, I'm feeling like this. And then it could be more of a conversation. But that takes work on both ends in so many ways. So.
Good stuff. I'm glad you said it, because you know I was about to dive in. That's why I love Stacy, man.
And
Boy, she don't cut no corners.
To tie that to parents, and I think, you know, we are talking about, you know, men and women's relationships, and that being the foundation before becoming parents. So then you can be healthy with one another, and then you're healthy with the children as far as communication and patience and, you know, management, stewarding them. But if we haven't gone that route as a parent, there's still ways to do it, to learn. Like, you still should evaluate and understand yourself more, so then you can understand your children or your partners, and
I think that's key.
have relationships.
Yeah, that's key to a healthy relationship, marriage, relationship with your child. Yeah, that is key. I'm glad you said that. Know yourself, self-work. You know how you feel. You understand yourself better. Now you can better relate to the next person. That's just a golden rule.
So Myles Munroe says it.
It is.
In one of his books, he talks about the foundation of society. He goes from society, right, or the government, society, communities, families, marriages, to the
Kids.
individual people.
Yeah.
So then it's man, woman at that point. That's the foundation of all of everything else. Your children come from those two that go into marriages, and then you have multiple families. That's a community, and then larger communities. That's the overall society. And so it kind of all boils down to us, you know, being healthier people for our families and community.
I love it, man. Well, before we get up out of here, Zay, drop an affirmation for the people.
Good advice.
You should probably sit down with your parent or a guardian and talk about how y'all can communicate better, so when you grow up, you can have that same communication with your children.
I love it.
That's great.
Fire.
Thank you.
You got something for the people?
That's good enough for me.
Amen to that. Well, on that note,
Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Follow Then Lead podcast. You can reach us on social media at
the email is followthenleadinc@gmail.com, Instagram, Follow Then Lead Podcast, and our Twitter is Follow Then Lead P. Until next time,
Take It Easy.
word.